In the great land of Yoruba, where the earth is red and the stories are old, there was a village named Àiyédàdé. The name meant joy of existence, but joy had long left its people. For 3 seasons, the rain had refused to fall. The sun, like a fierce king, ruled the sky without mercy. The streams cracked like broken pottery. The crops withered and bowed their heads to the dust. The air was thick with heat and worry. The people of Àiyédàdé held meetings under the ancient Ìrókò tree, its great branches offering shade but no answers. The Baal, the village head, a man with a voice worn by worry, spoke. "We have angered the heavens. We must offer more sacrifices to the Orisha of rain." The strongest men dug until their hands bled, seeking water deeper in the earth. They found only dry, red dust. Among them was a young woman named Moremi. Her skin was the color of rich, dark soil after a rain, and it glowed with health and the sheen of shea butter. While she was not a chief or a warrior, Moremi was known for her quiet mind and her kind heart. She watched her people suffer, and her spirit felt heavy. One night, exhausted by the day's futile digging, Moremi fell into a deep sleep. Her dream was not a jumble of thoughts, but a journey. She found herself walking through a mist towards a river that flowed with liquid silver. On the bank sat a magnificent woman. Her skin shimmered as if dusted with gold, and her robes were the color of the sunset. She was Oshun, the Orisha of sweet waters, love, and wisdom. Moremi, Oshun's voice was the sound of a gentle waterfall. "Your people look only with their eyes. They see dry land and dig. But the deepest truths are seen with the spirit. The water you seek does not hide from you. It sleeps, waiting for a wise hand to wake it." She gestured, and in her palm, an image appeared, the great Ìrókò tree at the village edge. But in the dream, its roots glowed like veins of light, pulsing deep into the earth, where a great underground lake lay hidden. "Dig not where the land is easiest," Oshun instructed, "but where the heart of the tree touches the soul of the earth. And you must make an offering not of blood, but of faith." Moremi awoke with a start. The dream was burned into her mind, clearer than memory. Filled with hope, she ran to the elders. "I have spoken with Oshun in my dream," she proclaimed. "She showed me water. It is under the Ìrókò tree, but we must dig in a new way, with faith." The elders listened, but their faces were like closed doors. "Moremi," said the Baal gently, "dreams are the mind's rumbling. They are whispers, not truths. We have dug by the Ìrókò. There is nothing." A trickster in the crowd, a man named Àiyédàdé, laughed. "Should we all sleep and dream of feasts instead of working for our food? Your head is cooked by the sun, Moremi." Her spirit faltered. Doubt, like a poison, began to creep in. Was it just a dream? That evening, as she sat feeling defeated, an old, wandering storyteller with a staff covered in carvings entered the village. He saw her sadness. "A story for a sip of water?" he asked, his eyes twinkling. He was Eshu, the trickster god, in disguise. Moremi offered her small water god. He drank and said, "Why is your face longer than a banana, child?" She told him of her dream and the people's disbelief. The old man chuckled. "Eshu turns yes to no and no to yes. He who knows the road to the king's palace must still walk it himself. A dream is a map, but your feet must make the journey. Why do you need their belief before you have your own proof?" His words struck her heart like a drum. He was right. She did not need permission to believe. Before the sun could rise the next day, Moremi took her digging tool and a small calabash. She went not to the open field where the men dug, but right to the base of the massive Ìrókò tree, where its giant roots dove into the earth like serpents. The ground was hard and tangled. It was back-breaking work. Villagers going to their own dry wells shook their heads. "There goes Moremi, chasing shadows," they whispered. She dug for hours. Her muscles ached, and her oily skin shone with effort under the rising sun. Just as despair began to return, her tool hit something solid. It wasn't a rock, it was a wide, flat stone, perfectly placed, as if by human hands. Her heart leapt. This was the sign. She used all her strength to pry the stone loose. Underneath, the earth was dark and cool. She plunged her hand in. It came out moist. "Water," she cried, but it was only a trickle, seeping slowly into the hole. Then she remembered Oshun's words, an offering not of blood, but of faith. What did that mean? She looked at the calabash she had brought. It was not filled with water, but with something else, the last of her precious seeds, saved from the previous harvest. Seeds were the future. To bury them was an act of ultimate faith, faith that they would grow. Without hesitation, she poured the seeds into the moist, dark earth at the bottom of the hole. She covered them with the rich soil, a prayer on her lips. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a wonder occurred. A clear, cold spring of water bubbled up from exactly where she had planted the seeds. It wasn't a trickle, it was a surge of water, clean and sweet, filling the hole and overflowing, creating a small stream that began to flow towards the village. The news spread like fire. The villagers came running. They saw the water gushing from the earth where Moremi stood, her face radiant with joy. They fell to their knees and drank, their laughter echoing for the first time in seasons. The Baal approached Moremi, his head bowed in respect. "We were blind, Moremi. We sought to command the world with our strength. You listened to it with your heart. You have shown us that the most powerful forces are the ones we cannot see: faith, wisdom, and the courage to follow a dream." The spring never ran dry. They named it Àiyédàdé, meaning rest for the soul. And the seeds Moremi planted grew into the most prosperous farm in the land, a constant reminder that true nourishment comes from believing in the unseen. From that day on, whenever an elder told a story, they would always end by saying, "Do not ignore the dream, for it is the eye of the spirit." And they would tell the tale of Moremi, who taught a village to see. Kindly subscribe for more story. Thank you.